Hey there, church. My name is Emily McKenna. I am on the Students of the Front Range team, and today for Bible in 1 Year, we are reading the book of Jonah. A lot of you have probably read this book before, or you're at least familiar with the story of the Lord giving Jonah a message and a mission to preach to the people of Nineveh. Jonah disobeys that. He gets swallowed up by the large fish, and then God still fulfills the mission through Jonah to preach. But we're going to focus on actually what happens after that in chapter 4. Something that stood out to me and just really continues to highlight the Lord's compassion in his heart for his people. And just looking at what happens when we get a little bit off center from how God sees people and from his heart for his people. I think sometimes I know I need to be reminded of God's compassion because I know in my head and I know from the word that he's compassionate, but if I'm being honest, sometimes there are things that I care about so much or that I don't care about maybe as much as I should. And either way, both of those things, I need to bring those to the Lord and say, God, if I'm caring about something so much, help remind me and show me that you are God and that you actually care about it more than me because I'm not God. Or on the flip side, if it's something that I'm just an area that I'm struggling to have compassion in, to bring that to the Lord also and say, Lord, put your compassion in me and let your compassion flow through me for this person or this situation. So Jonah clearly had other concerns other than the Ninevites. But again, whether we're concerned and compassionate about something or not, we need to be reminded that God cares the most. So in chapter 4, again, after Jonah has preached the message of repentance to the Ninevites and they have repented, he's actually pouting. And the Lord provides this little planty guy to give shade to Jonah, right? But then, and like the same 24 hours, the Lord sends a worm and the plant goes away. And Jonah says, it would be better for me to die than to live. Super dramatic, but he's clearly reached, the end of his mental state here. And I just love the Lord's response, though, in verse 10 and 11. But the Lord said, you have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend it or make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. And should I not have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals? I just love that response because we see again just God's heart for his people. He's reminding Jonah, if you are getting all worked up over this little plant that was there for 24 hours and you didn't even grow it or tend or do anything to it, then I, the Lord, why would I not have concern over this entire population who was lost and who needed to be returned and restored to me? And I think the reason that sometimes we can lose sight or get a little bit off track of God's heart and his compassion for his people is because we forget that he created them. He created all of it. We get concerned as humans sometimes over things that we didn't create, from possessions to experiences to relationships. And oftentimes we may need God to remind us that if we have concern over these things that we didn't even create, then how much more does God care about his people and the things that he created? God cares so deeply. So I just want to encourage you and remind you today to bring that thing that you are deeply concerned about, or if you're feeling a little bit off, like, God, I don't even know if what I'm concerned about is in line with your heart, to just bring that to him, whatever it is, and give it to him and acknowledge him as Lord over it. You can even put out your hands and just bring that before him and say, God, you are the Lord and you are the King over this person, over this situation. Help me to have the heart that you have. and just pray in line with that to see people with the compassion that God has for them, and remember that He is their creator. He is your creator, and He cares so much about the things that He created. We can just be encouraged in that today. And it's a good reminder for us as we continue to go about our week. So I hope y'all have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.